Hi, and welcome to the Bible Tribe. Word of the Day. I'm Denise Pass with Seeing Deep Ministries, where we see deep in a shallow world and overcome the battles of the mind with the Word of God. Complaining about our provision or our circumstances is more than just disliking something. It is disliking and distrusting our provider and Lord. Reading today in the book of Numbers, chapters 9 through 12, and the verse of the day is Numbers 11, verse 1. Soon the people began to complain about their hardship, and the Lord heard everything they said. Then the Lord's anger blazed against them, and he sent a fire to rage among them, and he destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. The word of the day is complain. It is the Hebrew word aw-nan. It means to murmur, mutter, to speak grumbling words. Makes you want to do that when you say that, right? The Israelites were at it again in the wilderness, doing what they did best, complain. Now, to be honest, I wager we would all be there with them whining over some of the challenges that they faced. But we can learn from their complaining and recognize where today we might have the same heart problems of a complaining spirit. Let's peek in on what they were complaining about in Numbers 11, verses 1 through 6. Now the people complained about their hardships in the hearing of the Lord. And when he heard them, his anger was aroused. Then fire from the Lord burned among them and consumed some of the outskirts of the camp. When the people cried out to Moses, he prayed to the Lord, and the fire died down. So that place was called Taberah. Becca used fire from the Lord had burned among them. The rabble with them began to crave other food. And again the Israelites started wailing and said, "If only we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now we have lost our appetite. We never see anything but this manna." Numbers 11:20 tells us that their complaining was ultimately rejection of the Lord. Speaking of the Israelites, Paul mentions them to the church at Corinth as an example to not complain, lest they wind up like the Israelites did, destroyed. 1 Corinthians 10:10 says, "And do not complain as some of them did, and were killed by the destroying angel." Don't complain about anything. Philippians 2:14 says, "Do everything without complaining and arguing." Y'all, this means, well, everything. Don't complain about other people. James 5:9 says, "Do not complain about one another, brothers, so that you will not be judged. Look, the judge is standing at the door." That's a motivation for you, right? Don't complain about serving others. 1 Peter 4:9 says, "Show hospitality to one another without complaining." Why is complaining so significant? Well, we all know it is annoying, but it causes unbelief in God, division in our churches, and it is ultimately rejection of God. What are you complaining about in your life right now? What is at the root of that complaint? What do you think you deserve? And how can you honor God in that place of complaint rather than dishonor him? Go with God and his precious word, friends. Join us tomorrow in the book of 1 Chronicles.